Within 3 seconds of a simple interaction, you can identify someone's deepest insecurities, their hidden fears, and the psychological weaknesses they desperately try to hide from the world. This isn't about being cruel or exploitative. This is about understanding human psychology at such a fundamental level that you can protect yourself from manipulation, identify genuine people in a world full of pretenders, and navigate social dynamics with unprecedented clarity. Today, we're going to explore a psychological assessment technique that cuts through all the masks, all the performances, and all the carefully constructed personas to reveal what people are truly afraid of losing, gaining, or confronting. By the end of this video, you'll possess the ability to read people's core vulnerabilities instantly, not to harm them, but to understand them and interact with them more effectively. The foundation of this test lies in understanding a crucial truth about human behavior. Our deepest weaknesses always show up in our immediate reactions to unexpected situations. When someone is caught off guard, their authentic self emerges before their conscious mind can construct an appropriate response. This happens because our psychological defense mechanisms take time to activate. In the first few seconds of an unexpected interaction, people reveal their true priorities, their genuine fears, and their actual level of confidence or insecurity. Niccolo Machiavelli understood this principle centuries ago. He observed that leaders could assess the character and vulnerability of others by watching their initial responses to surprise, challenge, or uncertainty. Those who remained composed revealed inner strength, while those who reacted defensively revealed their weak points. The 3-second test works by creating a moment of mild psychological pressure and observing how someone responds in those crucial first 3 seconds before their social filters kick in. Let me break down exactly how this test works and what different reactions reveal. The test itself is simple. You create a brief moment of unexpected attention, mild challenge, or subtle questioning. This can be done through direct eye contact with a slight questioning expression, a pause before responding to something they said, or asking a simple but pointed question that requires them to think rather than give an automatic response. The key is to create just enough psychological pressure to bypass their automatic social responses without being aggressive or inappropriate. Here's what different 3-second reactions reveal about someone's core weaknesses. Reaction 1. Immediate over-explanation. When someone launches into rapid, detailed explanations within those first 3 seconds, they're revealing their fear of being misunderstood or judged negatively. This typically indicates deep insecurity about their competence, their worthiness, or their social standing. People who over-explain immediately are usually carrying shame about something: their background, their abilities, their past mistakes, or their current situation. They assume others are looking for reasons to dismiss or reject them, so they rush to provide justification for their existence. Reaction 2. Aggressive defensiveness. When someone becomes combative or hostile within 3 seconds of mild questioning, they're revealing their fear of having their facade exposed. This reaction typically indicates that they're protecting something fragile, often an inflated self-image that doesn't match their reality. These individuals usually struggle with imposter syndrome, or are compensating for deep feelings of inadequacy. Their aggression is a preemptive strike against anyone who might discover their vulnerabilities. Reaction 3. Nervous laughter or deflection. When someone immediately laughs inappropriately, changes the subject, or makes jokes to deflect attention, they're revealing their fear of genuine intimacy or authentic connection. This usually indicates someone who has been hurt by vulnerability in the past. These people often have abandonment issues or fear rejection so deeply that they can't tolerate moments of genuine human connection. They deflect because sincerity feels dangerous to them. Reaction 4. Seeking validation from others. When someone immediately looks around for support, agreement, or validation from other people present, they're revealing their fear of standing alone or being individually accountable. This indicates weak personal boundaries and external locus of control. These individuals typically struggle with decision-making, have difficulty maintaining personal standards under social pressure, and are easily manipulated by group dynamics. Reaction 5. Perfect composure with genuine engagement. When someone remains calm, maintains appropriate eye contact, and responds thoughtfully without defensiveness, they're revealing genuine confidence and emotional security. This indicates strong psychological foundations and authentic self-worth. These people typically have done significant inner work, have healthy boundaries, and are comfortable with both their strengths and their limitations. Now let me show you how to conduct this test ethically and effectively in different situations. In professional settings, the test might look like pausing thoughtfully after someone presents an idea, then asking, "What led you to that conclusion?" Or making sustained eye contact while saying, "That's interesting. Tell me more about your thinking there." Watch their first 3-second response. Do they become defensive about their expertise? Do they over-explain their credentials? Do they look around for support from colleagues? Or do they calmly elaborate on their reasoning? In social situations, you might create the test by genuinely listening to someone's story, then pausing and asking a clarifying question that shows you're paying attention. So when that happened, what did you learn about yourself? Their immediate response reveals whether they're comfortable with introspection, whether they see themselves as victims or agents, and whether they're genuinely interested in growth or just seeking sympathy. In dating contexts, the test might involve asking about their passions or values in a way that requires a thoughtful response rather than a superficial one. What's something you believe that most people would disagree with? Their 3-second reaction reveals whether they have genuine convictions, whether they're afraid of being judged, and whether they're comfortable standing apart from popular opinion. Here's what makes this test so revealing. It bypasses the social scripts that people have memorized for common interactions. Most people have prepared responses for typical questions, but when you create a moment that requires authentic reaction, their true self emerges. However, it's crucial to understand the ethical implications and limitations of this knowledge. First, everyone has vulnerabilities and insecurities. The goal isn't to judge people as weak or strong, but to understand how their psychology works so you can interact with them more effectively and compassionately. Second, some reactions that might appear to indicate weakness actually indicate past trauma. or learned protective behaviors that served important functions in someone's life. Context matters enormously. Third, this test reveals someone's immediate defensive patterns, not their entire character. People can grow, heal, and develop stronger responses over time. The most valuable application of this knowledge is protective. When you can quickly identify someone's psychological patterns, you can recognize manipulative individuals who use false confidence to exploit others. These people often react with immediate aggression or grandiose claims. When their competence is gently questioned, identify genuine people who are worth investing time and energy in. These individuals respond to mild challenges with curiosity rather than defensiveness. Understand what makes someone feel safe and respected, so you can build better relationships with them. If someone reveals that they fear judgment, you can be extra careful to create non-judgmental interactions. Protect yourself from people whose weaknesses make them dangerous. Someone whose core fear is losing control might become manipulative or vindictive when they feel threatened. Here are some advanced applications of the 3-second test. In negotiation situations, you can assess whether someone is negotiating from genuine strength or trying to compensate for a weak position. Those negotiating from strength remain calm under questioning, while those compensating often become aggressive or over-justify their demands. In leadership contexts, you can identify who will be reliable under pressure and who might crack when things get difficult. True leaders remain composed and thoughtful when questioned, while those who are insecure about their authority become defensive or blame others. In team situations, you can understand how to motivate different people effectively. Some people are motivated by challenge and will respond well to direct feedback, while others need more support and encouragement to perform their best. Remember, the goal of understanding someone's vulnerabilities should always be to interact with them more effectively and compassionately, not to exploit or manipulate them. When you identify that someone fears judgment, you can create safer spaces for them to be authentic. When you recognize that someone struggles with imposter syndrome, you can offer genuine appreciation for their contributions. When you see that someone deflects intimacy, you can respect their boundaries while still being genuinely caring. The most sophisticated practitioners of human psychology understand that everyone's weaknesses are also their potential strengths. Someone who fears being misunderstood might also be highly empathetic. Someone who appears defensive might also be fiercely protective of others they care about. Here's how to develop your skills with this test. Start by practicing on yourself. Notice your own 3-second reactions when you're caught off guard, questioned unexpectedly, or put in mildly uncomfortable situations. Understanding your own patterns makes you better at recognizing them in others. Practice in low-stakes situations first. Observe how people respond to gentle questions or mild challenges in casual conversations. Notice patterns without making judgments. Pay attention to the context. Someone might react defensively in a professional setting where their competence is being evaluated, but respond with complete openness in a personal setting where they feel safe. Remember that this test reveals someone's habitual defensive patterns, not their full potential. People can learn, grow, and develop healthier responses over time. The ultimate value of the 3-second test isn't in categorizing people or exploiting their weaknesses. It's in developing the psychological sophistication to understand human nature more deeply, interact with people more effectively, and protect yourself from those who might not have your best interests at heart. When you can quickly assess someone's core psychology, you can adapt your communication style to work better with their natural patterns. You can offer the kind of interaction that makes them feel safe and valued. You can recognize when someone's reaction is about their own issues, rather than anything you've done wrong. Most importantly, you can identify the people who are genuinely worth your time and energy. Those who respond to mild challenges with curiosity, growth, and authentic engagement rather than defensiveness. Manipulation or performative behavior. Master the 3-second test, and you'll navigate human relationships with unprecedented clarity and effectiveness. You'll waste less time on people who can't handle authentic interaction, and you'll invest more energy in those who can meet you at a genuine level. The next time you meet someone new, pay attention to those crucial first 3 seconds when their guard is down. What you see in that moment will tell you more about who they really are than hours of polite conversation ever could.